Aquarius, what is good with you guys? I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into this, I would like to set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. So how's everybody doing? It is very, very cold where I live. I'm looking forward to the snow and all of that breaking, but also enjoying it when I don't have to go out into it. I'm seeing somebody come through to help you out with something. Someone here to offer assistance. Maybe you have an assistant, or maybe somebody's just offering a helping hand. Maybe somebody's going to come out and come out and offer you some sort of, emotional support, something like that. It's like somebody that wants to show up for you and help you out because they're concerned with your emotional well-being. It's something like that. Like, definitely somebody emotionally supportive in relation to whatever this is. Like, this person wants to see you be happy here. I'm looking at the Lovers. Is this somebody that wants to come through and help you out with something, but it also may turn into something else? Like, for some, I'm almost getting this notion where you could have some sort of assistant or somebody helping you out with something, and they may be supporting you and another person. For others, I'm seeing that there could be somebody coming through that is, again, concerned with your emotional well-being, and this may be somebody that it actually turns into some sort of relationship, something like that. Being guided to show you guys. I'm looking at the Page of Pentacles. I'm looking at the Ten of Cups. I'm looking at the Lovers. This can be a Gemini. Doesn't have to be. This can be that area of your chart. Somebody that you feel like was guided in. Maybe this maybe it's more than one person. Maybe this person feels like they were guided in. I'm hearing intuitively very strongly. Maybe they feel intuitively guided towards you. I don't know what your take is on this, but I'm seeing there's somebody who wants to see you be happy, and maybe they're looking for a relationship. Again, I don't know like where you stand on this, because this looks more so like their energy. There's somebody that wants to support your creative ventures. This may also, for some, be someone that comes through and helps you out, and then, like, as they're working with you, they start gaining feelings. I'm looking at the Page of Wands. Because the Page of Wands can speak on budding emotions, but it can also speak on a project that we want to be doing, and maybe we're working with this person in some sort of creative dynamic, but maybe we're also with them too. Interesting. For some of us, this is part of a soul contract. For others, this is somebody from your past. I'm looking at Leo on the bottom of the deck. I'm also looking at Gemini in front of me. Like, I'm getting that whatever this is, you have some sort of karmic soul contract with this individual, okay? Maybe you're going to be working together with them. Because for some, this can be a person that you already know about, somebody you're already with. But for others, I'm seeing that it's almost like you're starting something new, something you feel destined to be doing. This is also somebody that can be coming through and showing you love, and also somebody that wants to support you, embracing your gifts and your abilities and things that you have to offer here. Like, this can also be somebody getting you in touch with a sense of love, feeling, emotion. Yeah, I'm seeing that this is, even though this may be something interpersonal, I'm seeing it very closely be tied with work here. Like, somebody may be wanting to help you with your career. I'm seeing you looking very happy about something here. After going through something difficult with someone, I'm getting almost like a breakup energy, or you could have been with somebody that you felt really hurt by some sort of situation with them. Something regarding matters of love. I'm seeing a decision that needs to be made. Like, maybe whether or not we want to continue working with this person. I'm also hearing living with this person for some. Yeah, something's going to need to be called out. So if this is somebody that you already know, I'm getting that words need to be exchanged. Maybe the fact that something happened, like, I don't know how severe of, like, you feeling hurt by this situation was, or if this is something mutual or whatever. Maybe something just didn't work out for some, but I'm seeing that there's a decision that needs to be made about what we want to be communicating with this person here, like some sort of conversation that needs to be had, and it's about your feelings, and maybe something that you feel really vulnerable talking about with this person here. It's like maybe you're waiting for like the right opportunity to bring something up. For some of us, this can be a dialogue that has already happened with somebody from the past. It's interesting that this is coming through the way that it is. So, for those of you that have recently been through a breakup, and when I say recently, I mean if we still have some sort of ties with this individual, some sort of like cords, emotional ties, something with this person that we felt hurt by in a dynamic with them, I'm seeing that we're being guided to look within and get in touch with what's going on, what we're really feeling, and also maybe shifting our focus to what's going to make us happy as far as a career that we want to be stepping into, something with a position, a role that we want to be stepping into. Maybe almost like what we're envisioning, like maybe making some sort of decision, because I'm seeing that it's almost like you're pondering what's going to make you happy as far as a career front. I'm also hearing crusade. It's like some decision that you want to make that's related to your job, and you're like, what do I want to prioritize here? Maybe some of us are like, do I want to focus on my family? Do I want to focus on my career? How am I finding the balance between that? I want to be working in a job that I actually really love. I'm seeing something like that. And it's almost like there was something happened that you felt confused by, maybe something that manifested and started touching other areas of your life, and maybe there was some sort of offset because of this. And I'm seeing something going on with matters of love here. I'm seeing a very close interpersonal relationship. I'm seeing something that we felt hurt by. However, I'm not seeing an ending here. It's almost just like recognizing the fact that you felt hurt by a person in your life. And I'm seeing a lesson that we've been being guided through. Definitely guided through whatever experience this is. Maybe lessons in love that we're learning. Maybe we're also learning how to look within and reflect, and that is quelling a sense of confusion that we feel, like maybe relying on our own sense of introspection rather than depending on somebody else to tell you what's going on with you personally. I'm also getting the sense too, like we may be getting into more intuitive practices where it's like when you enter into a space, like say when you enter into a tarot reading, it's like a conversation between your higher self and as the reader, okay, and you that is watching the reading. And maybe we're learning that when we look within, or when we meditate, when we ground prior to participating in things that we hope will give us direction, maybe we're understanding the importance of that at this point in time. It's like wanting to reflect. I'm hearing intention setting very strongly before we go into situations, so that it can guide us in the most effective way. I'm getting too that there's something new that we want to be starting, and a decision that we need to make on that front as well here. Some sort of creative project that we want to be embracing. We're being guided to ground emotionally before we make a decision. I'm seeing that be a very strong point here. It's like, don't feel like you're being rushed into a decision, but also prioritize the fact that a decision needs to be made in regard to a direction that you want to go. This can even be with a relationship too. Like maybe you're trying to figure out like, oh, I was in this situation and I felt hurt by this person. I don't know if I want to continue on or not. And I'm seeing that some of us really do want to go off on our own with something rather than be continuing whatever this relationship is with this person. But you have to make a conscious decision to walk away from something. Otherwise, you're still going to have those cords there connected to you and that person. I'm seeing us feeling guided to call something out. Again, this has to do with, it's like either calling something out or communicating something with this person about the way that we felt hurt by a situation. This is someone... This can be a romantic relationship. This can be a friendship. This can be a family member. It's like I'm seeing a situation here between you and this individual, and something that it's your turn to step up and say something here. Like this is your job to be initiating whatever conversation this is, but you're also being guided to not enter into a space where you're conversating about whatever topic it is you need to discuss with this person until you are in a grounded space. This is like, if you're feeling overly anxious or you're not feeling present in your body, it's not the time to be having this conversation. It's about waiting until you're ready, and also prioritizing this, like putting it on the top of your list of things that need to get done. So I'm looking at Gemini here, which speaks on Mercury energy. This is communication. And I'm looking at Virgo, and I'm also looking at Saturn here. So a lesson in the way that we want to express ourselves, the way that we want to articulate something. But it's something that I'm getting this, again, a very strong point about us needing to reflect before we step into a space. It's like being very conscious of whatever this conversation is that you're going to be having, okay? And I'm almost getting it too, like if you kind of bypass having this conversation, I'm not necessarily seeing this person bringing up whatever this is. So it's like up to you if you want to step into that space and have that conversation here. And maybe this is something that we're realizing as well, that something is not going to get done unless you're the one that's initiating it here, Aquarius. I'm seeing us being being recognized upon our journey that we've been moving along here, transmuting energy, being patient with the process, practicing temperance. I'm looking at temperance here. Maybe in the past we could have been more easily reactive to certain things. This is really reminding me. So my moon is in Aries, and having a moon, which having a moon in Aries, which your moon is about your internal world. It's about the ways that you associate things emotionally. It's the way that you emotionally process. It's very much your intimate inner world, and very closely tied to your intuition, to your emotions, processing and all of that. When with my moon in Aries, it's something that until it is really addressed, having it be in Aries really pushes me into when I'm living in my shadow, okay, as many of us are naturally in our shadows until we move into a conscious light, um, really leads me to feeling impulsive about things. So until I learned more so how to not be reactive, or like how to not feel like I need to jump in and say something quickly and to like really calm things down, it was something that I needed to work on. It's like wanting to jump into action kind of prematurely in a way. It's like, in a way, kind of like the Knight of Wands energy, where you feel passionate about something, you feel confident about something, but you may need time to actually sit and think about it and process what's going on emotionally and actually get to the bottom of it here. And I'm kind of seeing this process that we're going through right now with like being patient with ourselves, with our emotional process, and the ways that we go ahead and communicate with people here. Even if it's somebody that you feel like really overstepped, crossed your boundaries in a certain way, this is like making sure that you are consciously making decisions here and not just being reactive and then looking back and being like, oh, I regret that I jumped into doing that impulsively. I should have waited and taken a moment. And I'm seeing this be a process that we're going through right now. We also may be understanding that it's now come time for us to walk away from somebody. It's like if you want to feel peaceful here, you recognize that something just isn't for you anymore. You don't want to be part of something. Yeah, I'm looking at you deciding to start something brand new. It's a completely clean slate that you're starting on. Because intuitively you're feeling guided into this. This is something that it's like a regeneration type of energy that we're moving through. I'm looking at Scorpio, I'm looking at Uranus, which is Aquarius's planet, and I'm also looking at Sag here. I'm seeing us stepping into a place where we're really owning our energy here. A place where we're feeling more in touch with our creativity, with our ideas, maybe doing more self-care, maybe also feeling more in touch in a way where you feel like you can be more compassionate and kind and nurturing towards those around you as well. It's like because you know your energy, you can also have an understanding now for other people's energies too. And I'm almost seeing this like for some of us you could actually be meeting somebody. It's like as you decide to step into some new place or new sort of journey, you could be coming into contact with somebody that you're going to be expressing that you have feelings for this person. And I'm seeing this lead into some sort of like stability, family structure, maybe even living with this person. For others, this can be some sort of synthesis between two different aspects of yourself. If we're talking about like the Venus and Mars energy, masculine and feminine, whatever you want to call it, which all of us have within us, this can be understanding when is it time to wait for things to come to me? When is it time to surrender and attract in the things that I want versus when is it time for me to step up and take action? When is it time for me to communicate? When is it time for me to be taking control? And I'm seeing this really beautiful energy of the Two of Cups here being synthesized. This can also be a relationship that you have between you and another person if it's not you and yourself. Again, I'm looking at Sagittarius, I'm looking at Aquarius, and I'm looking at Scorpio here. I'm looking at Venus as well. So this can be Uranus in Sagittarius or Scorpio. This can also be a Venus in Sagittarius or Scorpio. For some of us, I'm getting you could be purchasing a new vehicle. That may be a specific message for someone. I'm seeing us almost entering into some unknown land, but because we feel we're being, I'm hearing, guided into this direction. Maybe we're also stepping into a place where we feel more comfortable asking for what we deserve. Like if you feel like you want to be compensated for something energetically in a relationship or in something that you're doing for business, something that you're doing for work, maybe we're taking away any blockages that we've been having or addressing blockages we've been having when it comes to money exchange or energy exchange here. This is like subconscious work that we're doing. Like maybe you didn't realize, like for example, this is just an example for those of you that are self-employed, maybe you're realizing that your asking price was not something that you felt was equal to the time and effort and work that you were putting into something, and maybe you're recognizing that it's time to be asking to be paid enough that you feel like you're compensated for what you're doing. And this has to do with the ways that we value ourselves. And I'm seeing that this could have been something that we've been working through. For others, like say you want to be talking to your boss about a raise, like something like that here, okay? And it's almost like you don't know how exactly it's going to pan out, but you know that it's something you need to be addressing. And I'm seeing this be something that we're working on here. Even though I'm getting that you may feel extremely uncomfortable, I'm hearing this can even be, again, I'm getting something about asking about like money or an asking price, something like that. It's about feeling compensated for what you're doing. Or feeling like somebody is putting in, like if this is in regard to a relationship, it's like asking somebody to be like making more of an effort, or like explaining what your needs are, what your wants are to somebody here. I'm getting for some specifically this can have to do with the home, because I'm looking at Cancer here, which the house of Cancer can represent our home life. And I'm also looking at Libra here, which can represent our relationships, our partnerships, whether that's business or personal, things like that. And I'm also looking at Mercury here, which is about the ways that we communicate, the ways that we advocate for ourselves, the ways that we express ourselves. It's like in facing something that you may have really needed to find a way out of the maze of your head with whatever this is. I'm seeing something balancing out, almost to a degree that you're not yet aware of. And it's almost like something subconscious is balancing out here with whatever this is. For some of us, this can be some kind of plan that you're making. For some of us, you're actually moving somewhere, because you're looking for something that feels more, I'm hearing dynamic. I'm hearing that specifically. Something more dynamic. Or like you're doing it in hopes of finding something that you feel is going to bring more of a sense of balance into your life in general. I'm seeing that this is in the making. I'm not seeing this as something that is necessarily happening currently at this moment, but it looks like something that is soon to come. And we're starting off with the Chariot here, which speaks about us ultimately being successful, overcoming the obstacles of whatever crusade it is that we're finding ourselves within. And this is too recognizing, I'm being guided to mention this too. There's absolutely nothing wrong with admitting that you feel scared of something or intimidated by it or fearful of it. Where fear becomes something that hinders us is when we're not willing to work through it, because it's always important for us to validate what's going on emotionally for us and what we're feeling, and to also understand that there are things that we can work through as well. So to not stay in that stuck energy, and I'm seeing that's what we're moving through here. It's like addressing the things that make you feel like you are ineffective, or the things that you feel a lot of anxiety over, and still deciding to pursue these things even though they may feel intimidating or scary to us. In search for balance. I'm also hearing in search of better quality of life. I'm seeing for some of us too that this is also a process about, like, if you have somebody in your life, whether this is a job or another person, whatever, somebody that you're expecting some sort of exchange with or transaction with, I'm seeing us be in our heads about like actually a sense of worth, where it's like if somebody's coming through and offering you, like, lowballing you with something, or they're not compensating you for something. This is about recognizing your worth here and being like, no, I deserve more than that, or I'm putting in this much time and effort, and so this is the expected outcome that I have. And I'm seeing us almost go through this process where it's like you could have been putting in a lot of work into something particular, and it's almost like you're in your head about, like, continuing to stay in that place, or if you want to transition out of this space. And this may be something that we're not even consciously recognizing. I'm seeing for a lot of us that this is actually about physical money that we're making, and about feeling like you're being compensated for the work that you're putting in. Like, for some of us, we may be going through something where we're trying to clear financial blocks, something like that. And be like, what's going on here? Like, why do I feel like I don't have enough funds, or I'm not making the amount of money that I feel like I should be making? And this has to do, again, with our subconscious. It has to do with our shadow. And it's about not taking offers that don't allow you to feel empowered. It's like, also, too, Aquarius, no matter where you have it in your chart, Aquarius is a fixed sign. We can be very hesitant to make change. We can be very stubborn when we have certain ideas or when we feel comfortable. And this is all about breaking out of the comfort zone with something here, and not allowing our shadow or our fear space to talk us out of getting what we deserve here. And I'm seeing that this is a really big move we're making. And maybe this is almost like the final point of you addressing something here. When it comes to money, this can be things that we're addressing in regard to, I'm hearing our root chakra, and I'm also hearing our solar plexus chakra. So in this spread, I'm looking at Cancer, I'm looking at Pisces, I'm looking at Mercury, and I'm looking at Libra here. And this is ultimately about bringing a sense of balance to our relationships, no matter what relationship that is. It can be you and a company. It doesn't have to be an actual person. It can be some sort of corporation for some, I'm hearing. I'm seeing us have a strong wish to get out of some sort of environment or situation that we're in. This is about understanding, too, the ways that we can be effective rather than feeling helpless. It's like, where can I take action? There could have been something that you feel like has really held you back, or some sort of, I'm hearing I'm hearing imposition, but I'm also hearing disposition as well. Like maybe you feel like things have gotten in your way so you couldn't expand in the ways that you wanted to, and maybe this is also about recognizing that too. About the ways that we can step up and assume accountability and responsibility for things. And I'm almost seeing it like, when I look at the Five of Pentacles, this can speak on feeling poorly. It can speak on physical health. It can speak on mental health. It can speak on a lack mentality, learned helplessness, things like that. And I'm seeing it be like, when we recognize that, like, that type of thinking is not actually going to make things happen. It's like when you decide to focus and channel your energy into harmony and unity, things that you want to see. It's almost like as you transition out of this space, you move to a place where you're feeling harmoniously connected, both in your relationships and I'm hearing with the land around you, like maybe also your physical environment too, because the Four of Wands traditionally speaks on after you've been through a lot of difficult things and a lot of trials that you've worked through. It's about coming into a place where you feel like there's harmony within your relationships and with those around you. It can be feeling in touch with nature, but it speaks about symbiotic relationships ultimately. And I'm seeing it be like you over here recognizing what you actually wish to see manifest for you and almost being surprised about what happens here when you decide to step up. Take responsibility, take action here, assert yourself in the ways that you want to. This is about being confident too with the ways that we step up. And I'm almost seeing it like something that you're not expecting, something that you've been wishing for is going to come, of you really taking hold of your dreams here with something. And I'm looking at Mars energy, which Mars is about, when we look at Venus in the birth chart, when we're talking about the law of attraction, it's about what comes easiest to you, what you don't really need to take action on because that thing is going to naturally be attracted into your life. This is really simplifying it, by the way, just a disclaimer. And Mars speaks on where we need to take action to make things manifest in the way that you want it to. So if you're ever curious about where in your birth chart you're being guided to like relax and surrender and allow things to come to you, that has to do with your Venus, the placement in the house. And when you want to look into like, how do I need to make money, or where in my life do I need to step up and take action, that's the Mars. Mars also alludes to other things too, but I'm solely speaking about the things that we want to see manifesting for us, especially when it comes to making money and whatnot. Because Venus also speaks on money as well, physical pleasures. Mars can also speak on sexuality too. I'm getting this almost like you're having some sort of vision about something here. Something intuitively that comes through for you. Something about the way that you want to shape your life here. Maybe you're also collecting information, researching things as well. You could also be researching something that has to do with your intuition. I'm almost seeing it like you may be coming into a place where you're getting more in touch with your intuition, more in touch with what it's telling you. And it's like, as you're researching, I'm also hearing observing very strongly. As you're researching, observing, maybe also absorbing whatever messages these are that are coming through from your intuition. I'm seeing it almost be like this maturation energy where before you may have felt like your intuition was very tiny and you were just starting to hear what it was telling you with something, and it's like now you're transitioning into a place where you feel, I'm hearing interconnected with that voice in a way where you may be getting in touch with your intuition on a much deeper level than you had been before, but it's because you're putting the time and effort into gathering information about this, maybe even how your intuition works, maybe how to get connected to it too, maybe also even how to grow your intuition, things like that. It's like, how do I make those messages louder so I don't have to hold on one second. How do I make those messages louder so I don't have to pause and shut down everything else? You know, when we want to focus on one of our senses, like say you're driving in a car, right? When you're lost or you don't know where you are and you're trying to find where you're going, you know how you turn the music down so you're not being overstimulated by your other senses, so you can focus on one sense? It's almost like wanting to transition out of a place where you feel like everything else you have to put on pause, and it's like moving into a place where you feel so in touch and so aligned with your intuition that you can keep everything else going and rolling, and it feels more natural to you, like you feel more in step with your emotions here and with your intuition and with whatever messages are coming through. This can also be our perception. This can be psychic abilities, things of that nature. But you have to be open to listening to the messages first. Because, you know, the more in alignment you are, and the more you're paying attention to your intuition and what it's telling you, and actually taking action to follow what it's telling you, this is the more that it's going to be coming to the front of your brain, where it's a more conscious process, I'm hearing. I'm getting this too for some of us. So, I think that a lot of us can fall into this pattern. It does not need to be specifically with tarot readings, even though it can be. Sometimes when you find something that resonates with you, or you're trying to find answers, we can move into a place where we are participating in things ad nauseum. So it means like watching a million tarot readings and like feeling out of touch, or this one kind of resonates, or putting pieces where they don't go, or this can be an overload with like media that we're watching. This can be social media. This can be movies, things that you feel like kind of unground you. This is about setting boundaries so you're actually listening to what your intuition is telling you and not overloading yourself. I'm hearing over sensory. It's like learning to take a step back when you need to, and not like drowning things out, especially your intuition, because you're just blindly like following or listening to what's going on around you. It's about being very mindful about where it is that you're collecting information from. What is the source? Who is this person that's telling me this? What does that news say? Where did that news come from? I'm seeing us need to set boundaries with like whatever stimuli, whatever information it is that we are gathering around us here. And this is too about not ignoring, like if you get a weird feeling from something, or you feel like you're starting to feel drained, like when we do things that are in alignment, you feel more energy, you feel more inspired, you feel lighter, you feel happier, you feel more connected. When we participate in things that do not resonate with us, things that are not in alignment, you start feeling drained, you feel really tired, you feel exhausted. This can even be interpersonal relationships. You know, when you're around somebody that doesn't have so much understanding of the way that their energy is affecting those around them, and they can feel very draining to be around these people because they're not reading the room, and you're doing a lot of mental and emotional work. It's about understanding the ways that we need to protect our energy and what we're participating in, and again, like where we're gathering information from, who we're talking to as well. It's like stepping away from conversations that you feel are negative, or you feel like speak badly about other people, or even a self-talk space where you feel like you're being negative, or anything that encourages that. And it's like we transition then to a place where when we're collecting our information, I'm hearing from golden sources, like maybe high vibrational sources. I'm seeing this bring in a sense of stability for you in relation to knowledge that you're gaining here. And it also ties into your intuition, where something is maturing, something is strengthening here, and it has to do with your ability to be in touch. And about protecting yourself from the things that feel overwhelming to you. I'm also hearing status, and I'm hearing status connection. I'm also hearing static connection. Again, this is about just connecting with things that you feel like are resonating with you, and that you also feel in alignment with the vibration of that thing, okay? Because we do absorb the things that are around us subconsciously. Even though consciously we can be absorbing things, it's also subconscious, the things that we take in, the things that we get connected with. Yeah, and I'm seeing us here recognizing, it's like when you're following your intuition, it's telling you here what you need to set boundaries with and what things you've been participating in that you need to end. Again, this can be like, this can be a show that you've been watching. This can be somebody you've been like participating in an interaction in a certain way. It's about like prioritizing yourself here. I'm also hearing your safety, your energetic safety, your auric safety. Yeah, and I'm seeing you get like a very clear direction with where you want to be going. And I'm seeing us too moving into a place where when we're going through a process, which this feels very plutonic to me, when we go through a process of shedding and transformation and all of that, it is very painful to end those cycles because they are habitual things that we've been doing. And habits are natural for humans to feel comforted within, even if they're things that aren't necessarily healthy or beneficial to our growth. And I'm seeing a shedding process that we're going through here. And it's something that's really giving us clarity with the direction we want to go in, with our intuition, with where we're being called. I'm also hearing soul mission. And it's also about not being swayed. This is also about knowing yourself and your energy here. Yeah. And we end with these two cards here. It's like this healing that we're moving through, this direction that we have, this vision that you're getting about where you're being guided to, and the victory that you have because you've been following your intuition here, because you've been getting connected. Yeah. You've been establishing something, prioritizing something, stepping into a position that you feel is of value and in alignment with your morals and your values, and where you want to be standing with things. I'm just looking at you in this spread, Aquarius. All right, my friends, we are going to end it there. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.